Hey everybody, welcome to the stream! It is finally time for The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, much anticipated by me and chat. I'm very excited to dive into this game. A lot of people who haven't seen it in ages, like myself, I haven't played this game since it came out practically. I was like 12 when it came out. Like, God, it's been a while. And a few people in chat saying they haven't seen it before. Hey Lexi. Hey Dunkel. Hey Apple. Hylian. Nubet. Good to see you all. And my partner, too. Hello. But, Phantom Hourglass is kind of a weird game for a lot of people. I loved it as a kid. It was very inspirational to me, as a game designer, as a game player. It was a very formative game for me in that way. I loved the way that you could control the game with the touchscreen. That was completely novel to me at the time. It was one of the early DS games that really took advantage of the touchscreen. And that to me was really inspirational. I loved the big temple of the Ocean King that we'll see, the dungeon that you keep coming back to over and over again. The way that you keep going down further and further, and there's shortcuts to get past things you've already been to and all that. That was very inspirational to me in my maze designs. I loved the weird-ass puzzles that the game has, but also all of this same stuff. Ever since I've been on the internet, all of these same things have been criticisms of the game. And, it's weird, too, because it's all of the same things that I really loved about the game are the same things that the internet says are its flaws. And so, now that I've grown up a bit, I have to wonder if I still think of those things as positives or not. So that's really what I want to explore today is, do I still have the patience for this game? Do I still like this game? Much less do I still love this game. It reminds me of Sonic Heroes and the fact that I replayed that recently, and that was also a formative game for me. I loved the art design and the set pieces and the way the teams play together, and how they each have different missions, and they go through the levels differently. And on a replay, I fucking hated it, to be perfectly honest. Still love the art direction, still love the music, but everything else about it, I did not like nearly as much on a replay. I kept finding myself nearly falling off of stages, having to restart in particularly bad places right next to checkpoints, or really, really struggling with bosses, and those don't have checkpoints at all. Heroes was not a fun replay for me, and I kind of dreaded it the whole time that I was playing it, so, unique replay, let's just say. At the same time, though, that's kind of the only time that's happened that I've gone back to a game that I knew I loved as a kid and said to myself, actually, this game sucks. So, that and the fact that all the other games I've replayed I've been really fond of have left me really extra curious about Phantom Hourglass, which has a vocal number of people who just won't shut up about its flaws anytime the game comes up. And so I'm curious to see where I fall on those things now. Somebody saying, I can imagine that it could suck to play this game with mouse and keyboard. Lexi saying, today's stream is being played on Wii U Virtual Console, I think. That is correct. I purchased the game and Spirit Tracks both on Wii U Virtual Console in anticipation of streaming them a good 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, well before the Wii U eShop shut down. So, we'll be playing this on Virtual Console today, and I'll be playing it as close to, the original intent of the game as we could possibly get in this day and age without emulating it. And even if I did have to emulate it, I do have a monitor with a touchscreen on it, and all I'd have to do is buy a capacitive stylus. Sky, how are the colors? I have it set up just the way you told me to. Everything's ready to go. That was a fun time. Apple helped me with that. First off, the colors when I first sent that one screenshot last week, they were completely off because I have the wrong color space. And then, on top of that, Apple helped me figure out a color filter for it so that it looks a little closer to the colors that were actually on the DS. Because, Wii U Virtual Console games across the board kind of are a little dark for some reason. It's weird design choice. Rip the eShop, says Evitz. Hi, Evitz, welcome to the stream. Yes, very much rest in peace. I will miss that very dearly. I will miss its, unique music that they had every week, too. Maybe I should go look up a playlist of those sometime on YouTube. It'd be cool if they ever released that as an album, but Nintendo hasn't been releasing as many albums these days, because a lot of what they used to do was Club Nintendo exclusive, and Club Nintendo doesn't exist anymore. So now it's just the ones that they know will sell on CD. And, something tells me nobody's going to go out and buy a CD of just eShop themes. I mean, I would. Songs to spend money to. Wouldn't even have to buy a capacitive stylus, you could just borrow mine. Oh, you have one? Okay, yeah, that would be really helpful then. That'll be really helpful for if Melon DS ever follows through with its promise of local DS multiplayer online. Because I want to play Mario Party DS like that with some people, once that gets off the ground. That'll be a fun time. Before we start, I actually have something special to show y'all. I mentioned while talking about Phantom Hourglass that the touchscreen controls were very important to me, informative as a game designer kind of deal. Well, it was actually so inspirational to me that as a kid I was like, why don't they make more games that are controlled with the touchscreen? And so I mocked up a little idea of, like, what if Kirby was controlled with the touchscreen, right? So you've got a 2D platformer, you use the stylus to walk back and forth, jump up in the air by flicking up, and there's only a minimum of button controls to duck. I also really liked the mic on the DS, so I put a couple of funny things on the mic, like blowing fire or blowing your air shot. I drew this when I was 12, so it's a little, you know, inconsistent. I would change a couple of things if it was up to me these days, but, like, it was hugely inspirational to me as, like, what could we do with games with touchscreens? And this isn't something that's lost now that the DS is dead. There's this whole underutilized space where these things could be used called a fucking mobile phone that not enough people make games like this. Everything has to be, like, virtual buttons and shit. It's... or just overly simplified controls where you do one or two things. And it's, you know... we could be doing a lot more with touchscreens on phones. I think my favorite iteration of a platformer on a phone is something called Super Cattails. You don't have a dedicated jump button, you just tap the left side of the screen to move left, and tap the right side of the screen to move right, and you automatically jump off of ledges and stuff, and it's really, really well done. All of the levels are designed around it perfectly. It's one of my favorite mobile games of all time, and there's a couple of sequels that I haven't really dug into yet, but that was also hugely inspirational to me in thinking there's got to be more we can do with touchscreens in mobile games. Apple says of the Kirby one, this looks awful, I love it, please send 12-year-old Sky my regards. Will do. Just send a letter back in time. Hop on a PictoChat for the first time in ages. I'm sure she's still there. But yeah, I have a lot of history with this game, as you can see. So, all of these inspirations and stuff, I wonder what I will think of them now that I'm an adult. Let's see, what else? Someone should really compile all the eShop music and call the album something Zevitz called it, with songs to spend money to. Oh my god, yeah, that would be a perfect title for it. Imagine getting PictoChats from a future you. All I had to do was say PictoChat, and the chat is immediately just, like, falling head over heels into nostalgia. Oh, there's this cute little thing on itch I found one time called Froggy Chat, which is a second implementation of PictoChat on a mobile phone. And you can just connect to rooms based on anybody who's available on your Wi-Fi router. I've only gotten to use it like once or twice and barely ever talked about it, but it is so cool. It's called Froggy Chat, and it's on itch.io, and I think it's free. One day I want to explore that a little bit more, and maybe I'll talk about it some more in detail then. For now, though, why don't we get started with Phantom Hourglass? Give me just one more moment here. And we will switch over to the game.